G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Flashlight Crazy. Today I'm going to do a large comparison on what makes the best self-defense flashlight and also some tips and tricks in how to use a light as a self-defense tool. Stick around. Alright, so the first thing about using a light as a self-defense tool is it's all about your angles. So you've got 180 degrees, you've got 90 degrees, and I'm just kidding. This is not a video about that. I'm not gonna pretend that I know so much about self-defense and how to use a light as a self-defense tool that I'm gonna teach you at home to become an expert at self-defense in a 45-minute video. This is not one of those videos, so don't stress. Just wanted to have a little joke. So basically what I have done though is I have assembled 10 of my go-to lights for self-defense. So I looked through my light collection and I thought, what would I genuinely use as a self-defense tool in terms of a light? And also what do I often keep on me as a self-defense tool? And have I used any of these as actual self-defense tool before? So that's why I've assembled these 10 lights here. Now they do vary, so we've got a couple of 21700. So we've got the Nextorch TA30C Max 21700, the Welltool T8 Plus TAC 21700, and the Olight Warrior X3 21700. Everything else is an 18650 except the Surefire Defender, which is a 2x CR123 primary batteries. So, why would you want to listen to me when it comes to using a light as a self-defense tool? And the answer is, I don't work in any sort of law enforcement. I don't work in any sort of duty facilities or anything like that. But I have used lights in the past as a self-defense tool. And I definitely haven't mastered it, but I've certainly gained some experience in using some little tips and tricks in how I would use a light and the thought process, which is probably the most important thing that you need to kind of have under control if you're ever in a situation where you may need to use a light as a self-defense tool, because it can actually go the other way and you actually can cause yourself a lot of issues. You can increase your problem if you misuse a light in a situation where you need to be defending yourself. So I'm not going to go into any more detail about that, but I will along the way explain some things that I have done in using a light as a self-defense tool, and it's been successful. So what makes a self-defense flashlight? This is a massive question because so many companies will claim that this light is a self-defense flashlight and this light works and this light and all that sort of stuff. And I have, in using experience, I have kind of refined my idea of a self-defense flashlight down to some similarities that all of these lights share. So number one is that in my opinion and in my experience, a light that can be used most efficiently as a self-defense flashlight has one tail clicky. That's it. It doesn't have tail clicky, tail pad. It doesn't have two tail clickies or anything like that. It has one tail clicky, very easy to access. That's it. And there's a couple of reasons for that. So first reason is that one tail clicky means you can't miss it. Every single time you know what to click and you just bang, click it. That's it. When you click that, you're gonna get whatever is meant to come out of that light, and that's it. You can't accidentally hit the pad that's gonna give you strobe, or that's gonna give you instant low, or that's gonna change modes or whatever. You just bang, hit the tail clicky, and you know every time you hit that tail clicky, you are gonna get X amount of lumens, X amount of candela, and you know that you can rely on that coming out of your light, because you need to be able to rely on your light in a self-defense situation. But the second reason that I don't like having different things to be able to click is that there's more chance of things malfunctioning, more chance of things going wrong, and more chance of you having your light in a mode it shouldn't be in, or turning your light on in a mode that it should be in, but then clicking the other thing because you're under adrenaline. So you click the other pad and now you've just dropped it to a lower output. And the last thing you want to be doing in a self-defense situation is scrambling, trying to think and direct thought energy into what mode am I meant to be on and how do I get to that mode. Mate, seconds count in a self-defense situation. They proper count. So you do not want to have to think about your tool. You just want to use it, you want it to be reliable, and that is it. So all of these lights in front of me share that. They have one tail clicky, and that is it. Now, with the two Nex torches, so I've got the Nex Torch TA30C Max and the Nex Torch TA30C, and I've got the Fenix TK11 TAC. These three lights have a very unique user interface in terms of their tail cap, because their tail cap has one tail clicky, but it has a rotary switch as well. I intentionally chose these three lights because a rotary switch is not, in my opinion, a second tail clicky. You can't accidentally change modes. And because of their user interface, it's very direct on how you get to turbo, and every time you click that, you're going to get to turbo if you've got it on the right setting, particularly in the Fenix. So that's number one. You've got one tail clicky in your self-defense light. Simple. Number two is that you must be able to momentary. That is a non-negotiable. If you cannot momentary with a self-defense light, in my personal opinion and in my experience, it is pointless, because in some situations, using a self-defense light does not mean smashing a light on and keeping that light on. It does sometimes mean hitting it and letting it go, hitting it and letting it go. So there are scenarios that I will talk about where using momentary and then move, kind of like a boxer would like stick and move. It's the same thing. Momentary move. Briefly distort your enemy's vision and then move. Briefly distort your enemy's vision and then move. If you can't momentary with your light, in my opinion, it's not a self-defense light, or it doesn't add up to what a self-defense light should have. Number three, it's got to offer spill. So LEPs, total internals, the really thin total internals, these types of lights are going to be good in certain aspects for, I don't know, military, law enforcement, whatever. But in terms of an everyday self-defense light, you need spill because you need to see your surroundings. There's no point it's not going to do you any favors if you're able to blind someone right in front of you and you don't see two or three people to their left or right. You need that peripheral light. It's very, very important. Number four, it's got to be pocketable. So there's no point having some big light that you can't pocket. If you can't pocket it or put it in a bag or a purse or something like that, it's pointless to have, because a self-defense light should be something that is on you. You need to have it on you. If you can't have it on you, it is kind of pointless. And there is one light in this bunch that it is very difficult to have on you for reasons I will talk about, and that's why it doesn't kind of win, to be honest, or it doesn't kind of make it into the top three at least. It is basically just a bedside self-defense light. I wouldn't recommend taking it out, because how are you gonna hold it or clip it to yourself? I'll talk about that. Number five, it has to have instant to turbo. Hands down. It has to. You can't be muddling around with modes in a self-defense situation. If your light doesn't have instant turbo, throw it away. Do not use it as a self-defense tool. That would be my strong suggestion. All right, so there are two scenarios where you're going to be using a light as a self-defense tool. In-home self-defense, outdoor self-defense. That's it. So some of the techniques that I'm going to talk about are going to be different from indoor compared to outdoor. And also some of the lights are going to be different. Like, as I said before, you don't necessarily have to have a very pocketable light for in-home self-defense. It just needs to be accessible straight away. Okay, so before I move on, I'm going to talk about each of these lights individually, and I'm just going to bring them to your attention. I'm only going to talk about lumens and candela, because that is what matters in terms of a light's performance. I'll talk about how the light functions and everything like that, but lumens and candela are what you want when you are using a light as a self-defense tool. Sometimes too much candela can be bad as well, so let's talk about that. All right, so starting at my right, The first light I've chosen is the Nextorch TA30C Max. Now, the Nextorch TA30C Max is a brilliant light for a self-defense tool. It's big, it's heavy, it has glass breaking beads, great for a strike. And basically the most impressive thing about it is its rotary switch system and its tail clicky. So its tail clicky actually does not offer you a constant light ever. It gives you a momentary, but then as soon as you let go, it turns it off. But if you press in all the way, you've got strobe. So the Nextorch TA30C Max gives you a 3000 lumen max, and that is an instant turbo that you get every time you hit the tail clicky. Very important. And the candela rating at that 3000 lumen max is 38,025 candela. So that's a great mixture of lumens and candela. This is going to be very, very blinding. One thing that I don't particularly like about the TA30C Max is that as an outdoor self-defense light, it's big, it's bulky, it's going to be difficult to pocket. Depending on if you've got it in your hand or not, that's going to play a big role because trying to pull this out of your pocket may be tough. So that's my only gripe with it. But I will talk about what to do if you feel threatened and where to have your light and all that sort of stuff. So Nextorch TA30C Max. Next is the Nextorch TA30C. This one is a beauty. This one is slimline, 18650, exact same UI as the TA30C Max. So you've got your rotary switch for low to turn on low when you need it, but the tail clicky, every time you click it, you've got turbo. Your turbo is 1600 lumens, and it has a max candela rating at 22,952 candela. So every time you hit that tail clicky for momentary, it's going to get you 1600 lumens and 22,900 candela. And if you press in all the way, it's going to give you strobe at the same output. So this one is definitely my preference over that one, purely because it is more slimline. Very nice and compact. And just check the difference in size there. So very, very nice and compact the TA30C is compared to the TA30C Max. It's TA30C Max is big and bulky. So next is the Weltool T8 Plus TAC. This is a beast of a self-defense light. It has one output, unless you access the hidden outputs, which I'll talk about. But every time you momentary or you fully press in, you have 2,180 lumens and 101,000 candela. Now, as we will see in the night shots, I have the wonderful Sammy to help me in night shots. This light may have too much of a small hotspot to be effective as a self-defense tool. If you can get someone in the eyes, it is crazy. But at the distance that Sammy and I practiced and measured our self-defense video, the hot spot was, it hit me and then it didn't. It hit me and then it didn't. So we will talk about that. But this is a 21700 light. It is a big, heavy light. Again, might struggle pocketing it, but the beauty of Weltool is that you can actually swap this out for an 18650 body or even an 18350 body. So this is definitely a good candidate for the winner. Next, we have the old faithful Weltool T2 TAC. This one is the front runner for the winner, in my opinion. I won't announce the winner until we do the night shots and we see how they all perform. But this one is the front runner because it is slimline. It is single output unless you do the hidden modes. Oh, I forgot to say, hidden modes are not really important for a self-defense situation, to be honest. But if you hit the tail clicky 4 times and then press on, you can access low. And with the T8 Plus TAC, you can access strobe and then low. But we're just talking self-defense, smash that tail clicky, what do you get? That's what we're talking about. So with the Weltool T2 TAC, what do you get when you smash the tail cap? You get 1900 lumens and 46,500 candela. Those two are a brilliant mixture of candela and lumens. I have said before that the Weltool LH8 head in the 6,500 Kelvin color temperature was the best self-defense light. However, once the Weltool T2 TAC came out, I was actually taught that 1900 lumens and 46,500 candela is probably better because you get a bigger hotspot, and you will see that in the night shots. This thing performs very, very well. Next, we have the Olight Warrior X3. This is the one I was talking about in that it's probably not going to be very useful for an outdoor self-defense light. Reason being, no pocket clip. I don't know why they didn't add a pocket clip for this light. I think it was a silly, silly move on Olight's part to not add a pocket clip to this light. The one before this, the Warrior X Pro, I think it is, that has a pocket clip. Fantastic. This one doesn't. So this one, in my opinion, is only rendered to an in-home self-defense light, not an outdoor self-defense light. In terms of its performance, it is brilliant. Half click, you get low. Smash that tail cap in, which is what you're going to do in a self-defense situation, you get high. And your high is 2,500 lumens, so 2,500 lumens with 78,000 candela. But the hotspot is very, very big. So it's actually bigger than the Weltool T8 Plus TAC, which makes it more useful to cover somebody's face. However, the Weltool T8 Plus TAC comes in 18650 and 18350 bodies and has a pocket clip. So I would choose the Weltool over the Olight for outdoor self-defense every time. But indoor self-defense, this guy is a beauty. Next to your bed, you hear a noise, what the heck, all right? We'll talk about that. Next is the Olight Warrior Mini 3. This one is slimline. It is compact. It packs a punch, but we'll see how much outside. Smash down that tail cap, you're going to get your turbo, and if you've got it in tactical mode, press and hold the tail cap, you'll get strobe. But just for now, smash down that tail cap, you've got turbo. Your turbo mode is 1,750 lumens with a max candela rating of 14,000. Might be a bit low, but we'll see. Next, we've got the Cloud Defensive Mission Configurable Handheld in the high candela head. This one is a beauty. It will, if you have it configured or programmed to coming on high first, which you can do obviously, then you are going to get 1,100 lumens and 80,000 candela. So again, the candela might be a bit high and that hotspot might be a bit too small, but it is a great light. We'll see how it does in a self-defense situation. And it does come with a very deep carry pocket clip, but as you can see, you can also attach a Theorem switchback. So either or. I like lights that can have a Theorem switchback for a self-defense light. Why? Because it makes pulling it out of my pocket very easy and getting it ready. I just pocket this. The finger loop is just waiting. I put my pointer finger in the finger loop, yank it out, and I'm there. Good to go. Thumb all ready, and I'm ready to use this as a self-defense tool. Next light, we have the Surefire Defender, E2D Defender. It's the Defender Ultra, my mistake. So this light will give you 1,000 lumens every time you smash that tail cap. 1,000 lumens, beautiful amount of light. And the candela rating is 10,500. Could be a bit low, but we will see. Great light, slim line, nice pocket clip, not very deep carry, but nice pocket clip. And it just fits in your hand really, really well, and also protrudes enough so you can, hit if you need to. Next, we've got the Fenix TK11 TAC. Great light, very, very reliable, durable, fits in the hand great, 18650, nice protruding head to strike if need be. Does have a rotary switch similar to the Next Torch, however, its operation is very different to the Next Torch. You turn it one way, you've got your daily mode, so you can go low, medium, or high. You turn it the other way, you've got your tactical mode, that is going to come on in tac mode every time. Momentary, constant on, every time. The output of this is 1,600 lumens, and the candela rating is 27,893. Great lumens, great candela. This one should perform pretty well, but again, we will see at the night shots. And last but not least is one of my growing favorites. This is the Malkoff Bodyguard version 2. This is going to give you 1,000 lumens out the front every single time you hit that tail clicky. It's got momentary, constant on. It only has this 1,000 lumens for 8 seconds, then it's going to drop down to about 250 lumens. But, as I will talk about, you don't need to be smashing a light in someone's face and holding it there for long. If you are still in the same spot after 8 seconds of shining a light in somebody's eyes in a self-defense situation, you are doing it wrong. We will talk about that. So Malkoff has, as I said, 1,000 lumens out the front. It doesn't have a specified candela, but after the night shots last night when Sammy was using these lights and shining me in the face, I would assume it's got a similar candela to the Surefire, so around the 10,000 mark, I would say. All right, so they're the lights we're going to be working with today. They're the lights we're going to be talking about. These are the top 10 lights that I've chosen for a self-defense situation. And later on in the video, we will go outside and Sammy is going to be using these because I wanted a perspective from a woman to see how it feels in her hand. But before we go outside, we're going to talk about a few scenarios when you might use a light as a self-defense tool. So before I go into that though, a light is not a foolproof scenario for a self-defense situation, not by a long shot. And what I'm going to talk about is the best way to use a light in a self-defense situation. So if you use a light correctly, it can very much aid you in a self-defense situation and allow you to get away or to make a strike and then get away. But if you panic and if you think that your light is going to save you just by shining it at someone and that's it, you're going to find yourself in trouble very, very quickly. So what a light can offer you is a surprise. It can buy you a second or two while your attacker is gathering their vision back. And in that time, the choices that you make are going to determine whether or not you escape or you don't. So let's take an outside example first off. You're outside at night, you're walking from your work to your car, and it's quite dark, and you notice that someone is following you or someone is being a little bit sketchy around you. What do? Well, firstly, you don't leave your light in your pocket and you don't leave your light in your bag or your purse or wherever it is. If you are lucky enough to notice a threat before it actually becomes an imminent threat, get your light out of your pocket or out of your bag and hold the damn thing. There is no point in having a light on you as a self-defense tool if it is not accessible in an instant. A pocket or a bag is a good place to carry a light, but if you think you may need to use it, get it in your hand. You need to be quick in these situations. So get your light in your hand. I'm always telling my missus, when you go for a walk at night, or if you're ever concerned about anything, get your light, put it in your hand, and get ready to use it. It's that simple. Don't leave it in your bag. Don't leave it in your pocket. In a self-defense situation, there are 3 main rules that if you follow, you're best off to come out of it on top. Rule number 1 is you need to have a plan. I don't mean a plan of escape or a plan of, where I'm going to go or whatever. You need to have a plan of what you are going to do immediately after shining that light in someone's eyes. If you don't have a plan and you just want to work it out as you go and you shine a light in someone's eyes, when they get their vision back, they are going to be furious at you. They're going to be furious. And they're also going to continue to do whatever they were going to do when they were approaching you or when they were stalking you. So there is no point thinking, my self-defense light is going to save me just by clicking it on and shining it at the bad guy. That's not going to work. That's going to work for about 2.5 seconds. And then they're going to put their hand up, shield the light, and continue to walk towards you. You need to have a plan. Now, without going into too much detail, because I don't want to talk about violence on this video or anything like that, but without going into too much detail, my plan is shine, strike, leave. That's my plan. How am I going to allow that plan to unfold? Well, I'm going to let the attacker get real close. That's what I'm going to do. So in the past, this has worked for me. Again, I don't want to talk about any specifics, but take my word for it or don't, whatever. In the past, I have let an attacker get real close. I've tried to talk them down. I've tried to look for exits and look for a way that I can escape. I've had my light in my hand and it's visible. They can see it. I don't care. But I've had my light in my hand. And then if they get too close, I shine, I strike, I leave. And by leaving, I mean run. I run. I would prefer to run and go to sleep and wake up the next morning than fight, go to sleep and wake up in jail, or fight, go to sleep and never wake up. So my advice to anyone out there who is ever going to use a light as a self-defense tool would be 3 things. Shine, strike, run. That's it. If you think you can escape quick enough without striking, do it. Because striking can be it's a tricky one. If you don't strike correctly or if you get tangled up, now you're just tangled up with the person. That's not what you want to do. But you will notice there'll be a lot of fear. There'll be a lot of adrenaline and your heart is going to be pounding in a situation like that. But if you can remember 3 things, shine, strike, run, that is going to really, really help you. And that needs to be your plan. So rule number 1 is you've got to have a plan. Without a plan, you are just flapping in the breeze. You are just going with the flow, hoping for the best. You do not want to be hoping for the best. If you are mentally prepared with a plan for when somebody comes up to you and potentially attacks you, you are already ahead. Then if you've got your light and you know exactly how you're going to use it and what you're going to do afterwards, you are 2 steps ahead. The person who's coming up to attack you is probably just doing it as an opportunistic thing. It's just, oh, I might try and steal this person's bag or phone or wallet or whatever. They haven't sat down and planned it. You have. So if you sit down and plan it out, what am I going to do if I'm approached and I'm scared and someone's trying to invade my personal space? Shine, strike, leave. That's it. That's all you have to do. Rule number 2. Rule number 2 is pretty logical, and it should be logical. Look for help. Straight away, look for help. A light doesn't necessarily have to be a self-defense tool that you can shine at someone's eyes. A light can also be hey, I'm over here, I need help. I'm over here, I need help. That's one of the reasons why I love being able to momentary with my lights, because you can use it as a strobe if you want. You don't have to have strobe on a light. You can use it as a strobe just by clicking the tail clicky quickly. So in a self-defense situation, if you don't want your attacker getting too close to you, you can actually signal to someone across the road, to someone down the street, and yell out, hey, help, help, hey, help. Mate, very few attackers or would-be attackers, opportunistic attackers, are going to want to continue their opportunistic plan of attacking you if you have just signaled to someone else, asked for help, and that person has now acknowledged you and is coming towards you. It's not going to be a good day for the attacker. So again, use your light to signal for help. Every single time I have been in a self-defense situation, bar I think 1 or 2, where it happened a lot quicker than I could even predict. First and foremost, I have got my plan ready and then I have looked for help. Sometimes there's been help and I've signaled, sometimes there's been no help. So in a situation, you don't have to think that you are alone. I've got to take this person on myself. Oh, it's me and my light, let's do this. You don't have to think like that. You can signal for help, get help anywhere. Just, you're afraid for your safety. It doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter if you've made a mistake. You'd much rather make a mistake and signal for help and it turns out this person wasn't even going to attack you. That's fine. That's cool, man. Don't stress. But signaling for help is going to be one of your best friends in terms of frightening the attacker away because they're going to want to abort their idea, or getting someone's attention so now the attacker has to potentially take on 2 of you. You've got someone that's going to phone the police. You can then shine in the eyes. Your options get a whole lot better. So rule number 2 is always look for help. Rule number 3 is do not assume anything. Don't assume this person is going to attack you. Don't assume this person isn't going to attack you. Don't assume you're going to win. Don't assume your light's going to work. Don't assume this person over here is going to come and help you. Don't assume anything. If you have found yourself in a situation where you are concerned for your safety, that is enough to act. That's plain and simple. That is enough to act. What I mean by act is I don't mean go up and attack anyone, but I mean get your light out, think about your plan, start making your exit, and know what you are going to do if you are approached. As I said, it's so much better to be wrong than to be unprepared. So do not assume anything in a situation like that. If someone has made you feel unsafe or they've made you feel like they are going to hurt you or do something bad to you, chances are your survival instincts have been correct. And even if it turns out they didn't do anything to you, that could have been because the way you acted, ward them away. So don't assume anything. And every single time you're in a situation like that, trust your survival instincts. Get your light out, look for help, have a plan, and then go from there. But now let's talk about another scenario. This scenario is a lot scarier by a long shot, in my opinion, because this scenario is indoor self-defense. This scenario is in-home self-defense. Now, if you're in your home and you're woken up at 3, 4 in the morning and you know someone's in your house, immediately you're scared. I don't care who you are. I would be scared. 99% of people would be scared. But the thing is, people find themselves in these situations. And the last thing you want to do is panic and knock things over and immediately give away your position. Because you've got to remember a couple of things. The person or people who are in your house, it's likely that it's the first time they've been in your house, number one. Number two, they're not there to murder you. If you find yourself in a situation where someone has entered a house to murder you intentionally, I'd probably get out of the line of work that you're in. Because normally, 95 to 99% of the time, if someone or some people are in your house late at night that you don't know, they are an opportunistic, drunk or on drugs person or people, and they are looking for car keys, wallets, phones, whatever. Now, if they notch your car key off the keychain, take your car and leave, it sucks, but you live to fight another day. It's probably insured, don't stress. But if they start making their way further into the house and they haven't left, and you've got you and your family in there, this is where using a light as a self-defense tool can be very, very effective. Very effective. Because your attackers don't know where the light switches are, and they don't know the layout of your house. You do. So, number one, in a in-home self-defense situation, don't turn the lights on. You know the layout of your house and they don't. Don't turn the lights on. You're just going to give them the map out of your house. Stay in the dark. Darkness is your friend in that situation. Number two, get your light. And this is where the momentary move is absolutely outstanding, because there's no way for me to really show it on camera, but I have tested this theory. Thankfully, I've never actually been in a situation like this, but I have tested this theory over and over and over again with brothers and friends of mine. When you are in a dark room, in a dark house, and you get momentary in the eyes, you are completely disorientated. I'm not talking about strobe. I'm talking just bang, that's it. Half a second, momentary, that's it. You are completely disorientated. And what you can do as the defender is you can momentary, disorientate, and then move. And when you move, your attacker thinks that you are still there. Not because they want to think that, but because their eyes have seen light there, they've sent the message to your brain, and your brain is now saying, there's someone over there. All of a sudden, if you get flashed from that angle, your eyes are now telling your brain, there's someone over there. You can make an attacker feel like they are surrounded if you're momentary move. It's really an incredible technique. I have seen it plenty of times online. I have then tested it with my own people, and boy, oh boy, does it work. Absolutely flawlessly. But I'm not here to tell you to go and engage with an attacker inside your house. No. You're going to use momentary move to escape. You know the layout, they don't. So, if you cannot make a quiet escape with everyone in your house whilst someone's on the phone to the police, or maybe wait till you get out to phone the police, if your attackers see you or hear you, that's when you shine, blind, move. Shine, blind, move. That's it. You make your way to the back door, side door, whatever. You get you and your family safe. Once you guys are all safe and out of the house, call the police, that's it. And just keep going. Don't stand outside of the house waiting for the attackers. Just keep going. That's it. So this all comes back to the rules of basically how to engage with an attacker. Inside your house, you still got to have a plan. It's just going to be a different plan to the outside, because outside your plan should and always will be flash, strike, flee, basically. If you don't let them get close enough though, it's going to be flash and flee. But if you do let them get close enough, flash, strike, flee. That's it. I'm not going to tell you how to strike, but just think vulnerable parts. That's it. But your plan indoor is going to be different, because your plan indoor is not going to be engage. If you have to engage, if they have come up to you, of course, engage to defend yourself. But use your light and you adopt that same scenario. Flash, strike, flash, strike. You want to take away their vision before you strike. You don't want to strike with having them got their eyes intact. You want to take away their vision before you do that. But 9 out of 10 times, you are going to be able to flee before they even get anywhere near you, because you know your house and they don't. You know their exits and they don't. It's that simple. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to grab Sammy. We're going to go outside. We're going to test all of these lights outside in a real life scenario. When I say real life scenario, let me just paint the picture for you. We did these night shots under a street light because it's more realistic to be around some ambient light like street lights and things like that than to be in a pitch black dark alley. Those pitch black dark alley scenes normally just happen on movies and in Batman and things like that. Whereas real life situation, if you're going to come up against someone that is, going to try and hurt you, it's going to be on the street, on the way to your car, on the way to the shops or something like that. Likelihood is there's going to be some street lights around. So we wanted to test these lights among some ambient street lights. So we didn't want to just put us in a completely dark alley, because that kind of makes every light very effective. I mean, you only need a couple hundred lumens and you can really momentarily blind someone in a completely pitch black room or dark alley. But we wanted to kind of emulate a bit more of a real situation. And all you're going to see is me standing on one end of a car space, Sammy standing on the other end. She's going to shine me in the face. We're going to talk about how bad it was, if it was bad at all. And then Sammy's going to talk a little bit about how that light felt for her and which one she would choose in a self-defense situation. It's pretty funny as well, because I will not be doing this again, because I was not impressed with my eyes afterwards. It's very silly. I don't recommend doing this at home or whatever, but I wanted to do it to kind of flesh out what light works and what light doesn't in a self-defense situation, really. So let's cut to them and then we'll come back to a final chat and then my favorite light out of all these. See you in a sec. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to try and replicate a scenario where a woman, Sammy, is going to use a torch as a self-defense tool. So I wanted to actually go under a street light, because the likelihood of you being in a pitch black area is pretty small. So, walking along the street, you're going to be in a lit up area. So I don't know how well the camera's showing it, but we are directly under a street light, so it's fairly lit up here. So this is really going to show what light does, how well each light does. All right, so starting off, what are we doing? The next torch, TA30C. Sammy's going to blast me. I'm going to explain what it was like for me, and then you explain the comfort and if it was blinding for you as well or whatever, all right? So let's go, hit me. Oh, wow, that's a lot. So that was strobe too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait, go just the light. So if I'm walking, all right, hang on. All right, so if I'm walking towards you, go hit, and yeah, it's a lot, because it stops you. It makes you want to look away, and I'm still seeing white. So go strobe and tell me how strobe is for you.
Strobe.
All right, it's a lot.
Strobe's fine.
It's fine, is it?
Yeah.
So indoors, strobe is terrible,
I hate it.
because you've mentioned that several times.
Yeah.
But out here, it's fine.
It's fine. In an open space, it seems fine.
So which one do you feel more comfortable with in a self-defense situation? If I'm walking towards you, hit me.
I'd probably go straight to strobe.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like hit me and hold it on me.
Strobe?
Yeah, strobe. So I just don't want to go towards that, man, and I have to turn my head away from it. That's
Because
not.
I can still see clearly around you.
Yeah.
So that's an easy getaway.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, that's brutal. See, like, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at Sammy's waist, so it doesn't hit me straight in the eyes. But that last one just then, because I was talking to her, I was looking at her in the eyes, and then she hit me just with one, and it really got me. And we are, how far away are we? We're from one end of a standard car space to another. That's our distance. All right. So comfort. What was it like?
Amazing. I love it. It feels good. It's a nice weight. I have little hands, so it fits nice. And the tail cap,
Yeah. Yep. Got tail clicky.
tail clicky,
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. Love it.
It's so easy to push. You go straight to strobe all the way in, which
Yeah.
is probably what you do anyway because you're in a panic, you push down
You
hard.
would smash it. Yeah.
So that's good that that's straight to strobe.
Yep.
But I also like that you can just click it down a little bit and it's so easy.
And how's the turny, the rotary switch for you?
Oh yeah.
How do you find that?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool.
It's really smooth.
Yep. All right. Beauty. That's the next Torch TA30C. And yeah, look, for me, quite blinding. It was strobe was worse though, and I didn't expect that because we've only tested strobe and constant on indoors, and strobe is just horrible indoors for the attacker as well as the defender. But out here, it seems that strobe is actually nice, according to Sammy. All right. Next up, next Torch TA30C Max. Let's go. Hit me, and I'm looking at your waist because it's just brutal. Let's go.
Straight to strobe.
Go. Oh, whoa. That is. Whoa.
That's brighter than the other one.
Yeah, it
isn't
is by a lot, and the color, man, that's pure
Yeah,
white.
it's white.
That for me, that sucked. So go constant on now. I'm just gonna look down towards your feet, man. This is harsh on the eyes. Wow. Okay, so go again. So all I can see is white light, and everything else becomes black. That's almost a perfect mix of brightness and candela. That was good. That was really annoying. How did it feel for you?
Yeah, good. Same as the other one, I think. Obviously, just a little bit brighter. It's a bit bigger and a bit heavier. So for my smaller hands, I prefer the other one.
Yep.
But it's still just as easy to use.
Yep. In terms of a situation like if you were shining that at me and I still came at you, which one would you feel more confident to hit me with?
This one because it's heavier.
Because it's heavier.
Yeah.
So the TA30C Max is the one you would prefer to hit me with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
Okay. Cool. But in terms of pocketability and all that, the other one. Yeah. TA30C. All right. Cool. Let's move on. What do we got next? The Phoenix. Is that the Phoenix? Yeah, the Phoenix TK11 TAC. Let's go. Whoa, nice. So, not as bad as the TA30C Max, but worse than the TA30C, but now smash it all the way in and hold it, if you can. Did it go strobe?
Oh,
There it goes. What's that feel like for
I
you?
don't like that.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. I felt like I was pushing it all the way in.
Yeah, but then
Obviously not.
no. Yeah, the tail clicky is a bit
Yeah.
rugged on that one. Go the constant on again. Look, it sucks, but it's not anything. It's not gonna. I'd need to be closer. I can still see a fair bit. Go again. Yeah, it's getting my attention, but I'd pretty happily walk towards you still, to be honest. But now if I'm walking towards you, hit me when I'm getting uncomfortably close. If I'm a stranger, so I'm walking towards you, and then that sucked. That would definitely make me turn my head, which then you could hit me, run, do whatever. In terms of comfort and all that, how do you feel?
Yeah, in terms of size and comfort, it's good. It's got a little bit of weight to it, and it's got a bigger head, which I like, but
Yeah.
I don't like the
Tail
tail.
clicky, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me because it is a rugged, like rough.
And it's smooth. I like a little bit of grip maybe
Gotcha.
for something that's harder to push down.
Cool. All right, moving on. I don't think any of the others have strobe. But we'll see. All right, so now we've got the Cloud Defensive Mission Configurable Handheld in the high Candela head. Before we start, how does it feel with the Theorem Switchback?
It's okay.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
don't...
my hands are a bit small,
Yeah.
so probably doesn't fit very well.
Yep.
But I kind of like it just to sit there so I don't drop it.
Yep. All right, let's go. Hit me in the face. Oh, moly. What the? Hit me in the face again? No, that's low now. So it goes high. I've got it on high, low. So go again. This will be high. Oh, and now, yeah, that's low. Yeah. So hit me high. Yeah. So that, mate, that takes away. Is that bright on your for you?
No,
No.
not. I mean, if you were closer, probably.
Yeah. So
but
if I'm here, and I'm just gonna look down. If I'm here, hit me in the face. Tell me what it's like.
no, that's okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the high Candela head, for me, it certainly is utterly blinding, and it takes away my peripheral vision as well for a moment, but then it comes back. So can you shine it at me and hold it on me, please? So, it's anything in that direction is blinding. As soon as I turn my head like that, I can see everything here, obviously. But I can't look in that direction at all. So that the Candela on that is genuinely doing its job. It's intensifying. I do not want to look there. But because of the size of the hotspot, go again, I can hold my hand here and shield my face completely. Now I can see everything. I can see you. So I could walk up to you like this. No dramas. No problem at all. So then you'd want to move it. That's right, yeah, and then keep me kind of guessing. In terms of comfort, how's the tail clicky? How's it all feel?
Tail clicky's not bad.
Yeah, I love that tail clicky.
Yeah, that's quite easy.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah.
And because it's a smooth torch, I like that it's got a bit of grip so you know where to put your thumb.
Yeah.
against the bottom.
You can't miss this tail
You can't
clicky. It's
miss.
the biggest I've ever used.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a goodie. All right, cool. Moving on. Olight Warrior Mini 3. Just smash the tail clicky down and you'll get turbo. Let's go. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not surprising. It's not the brightest and it's not the harshest on me, but surprisingly, it's got some kick. So I'm gonna stand halfway. Go again. Yeah. So here, the Warrior Mini 3 is doing its job much better, but a full car space distance, I'm not too fussed about it, to be honest. How does it feel for you?
It's okay. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because it's cold.
Yeah.
But the patterning on it
Yeah, good. This is good. What about it?
feels a bit weird in my hands.
Weird as in how?
I don't like the feel of it.
Don't like it. Yeah, okay. So the Warrior Mini 3, like anodizing and finishing. The finishing on it is a bit rough?
A bit rough.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet. Now this does have strobe. Actually, let's get strobe to you. So
So you have to hold that down to keep it on.
no, you just click it quickly to keep it on.
Right.
But now, okay, so now hold it down all the way, and you'll strobe me, and let's see how strobe is. Warrior Mini 3. Nah, it's not doing much, to be honest. It's not doing much. Sorry, Olight, but
I'm not sure if I like the.
I love that about it.
Really.
Yeah. Go again at this angle, at this distance at me. It's just not doing much. I'd easily take you to the ground with that. No dramas at all. All right, what do we got next? We got the Weltool T2 Tac. Let's see. Go. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm just as I thought. Go again. That's brutal, man. Woo! That is brutal. That takes away. That was similar to the TA30C Max and the High Candela Cloud Defensive in that it was bright, it was intense, and it takes away all of my peripheral vision because the light is just consuming my retinas. So it's taking over my retinas, which means I cannot see the peripheral. My peripheral just goes, man. That's awesome. That's a good one. Now, how does it feel for you?
It's nice.
Really?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah?
It's a good size.
Yeah? Tail clicky, talk to me.
It's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder than the next torch.
Yep.
But it's still still not too hard.
And look, in a pinch,
Yeah.
you're going to be adrenaline running. It's just like bang,
Yeah.
you know? So if I'm walking towards you, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you. And then, oh my God, how is that?
So
Whoa. How is that for you? Was that bright for you?
It was bright for me.
It was, yeah? Man, I'm still
was
seeing
bright.
stars. This is going to be the last time I do a video like this, I reckon, because I'm literally still seeing stars. This is bad, man. I should be doing this. Oh, I'm not doing this again after this. That one friggin' sucked.
Sorry.
No, this is what we got to do. It's for the people, you know? I hate this. All right, hang on. There's some people around. Can I actually just have one of the torches you've used, just in case something goes down? I'll take T2 tack, to be honest. Oh, and also, sorry, the weight.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you
Yeah.
had to.
If I had to, yeah, but there's not a lot of room.
Really? What do you mean?
Maybe in comparison to the other one. With my hand. Oh no, sorry, I lied. It's okay. I probably wouldn't feel confident.
How would you hit someone with it though? Like that. So you change grip and
I
then hit,
change
would you?
grip.
Okay, yeah,
I just
right.
flip it
That's
around.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. That's why a bigger head would be good.
Yeah.
So the TA30C Max.
But also being smaller, I wouldn't feel confident hitting someone with that unless they were at my height because I have no reach.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Oh man, we've got now the Weltool T8 Plus tack. I assure you, this is going to suck.
Don't.
I'm not looking at it. I'm looking down, but this is going to suck. I promise. All right, let's go.
I feel good.
Go.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh my God. Just do it and hold it on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this sucks, man. What am I doing? All
No,
right,
that's too much.
that's a lot. So, just go again. I need a proper reading. Come on. So that's like that, and I knew it was going to be like this. That's like car headlights. That is just, it's just high beams at you. You can't see a thing. You literally can't see a thing. Also, actually, go again. Go again. All right, go the T2 tack now. All right. The T2 tack is more blinding. Absolutely. And I reckon it's because the size of the hotspot. Let me just have a look at this. So the T2 tack has a bigger hotspot, which the T8 Plus tack has got more lumens and more candela, but the T2 tack has a bigger hotspot, and that is more blinding. It's consuming me more, 100%. So how does the T8 Plus tack feel in your hand?
It's nice.
Yeah?
It's
a Welt, of course it's nice.
it's
Come on.
nice.
Yeah.
It's got a bit more weight to it.
Yeah.
I like that. In terms of putting it in a pocket, it's probably too heavy for me.
Yep.
But I like the feel of it if I had to approach someone and hit someone with it. It feels nice.
Yep.
And I like that it's kind of goes in and out, so you've got a grip.
Yep. Beauty.
Tail cookie feels nice too.
All right, let's do it. Next one. So far for me, the most blinding light has been the Weltool T2 tack. For you, what's been the most comfortable and easy to use?
Oh,
One of the next torches, probably.
one of the next torches or one of the Weltools.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, now we've got the Olight Warrior X3. Yeah? Yeah, cool. All right, this is going to be brutal. Smash it down and just hit me. Go. Oh, yeah. So bright, that. Go again.
That's so bright.
Yeah, it is. Is that bright for you?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I still believe the Weltool T2 tack is worse because it consumes your whole face. Although the size of the hotspot is close. Are you getting me right on the face? Yeah. Go again. Yeah, that's brutal. That and the Weltool T2 tack are the worst for me so far. How does it feel for you?
It's okay. It's a bit harder to hold.
Yep.
Maybe because of...
Probably because of the tactical ring.
Yeah, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Yep. How would you feel about bonking someone with it?
Yeah, it's solid.
It is solid, isn't it? It's a solid light.
It's solid.
It's a beast.
I think it's just this is very smooth and it's cold, so it feels weird.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Now, two of my favourite lights, a couple of bloody gems. They're nowhere near as crazy as any of the others, but here we have the Malkoff Bodyguard version 2. Hit me. Oh wow, nice. That's only 1,000 lumens. That was good. Go again. Go again. Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was nice. The Malkoff Bodyguard. Full car space, not that brutal. Half car space, pretty brutal. Didn't love it. How does it feel for you?
Easy.
It's, of course, it's just magnificent, that light.
Easy tail clicking.
Yep.
It's pretty much all one size.
Yep.
Nice to have in your pocket.
Absolutely. Yeah. Would you feel confident?
Probably not.
No. Okay.
Bit light.
Yep.
Bit thin.
All right. That's what she said. Move on. Last one. So we got the what's that? The Surefire Defender. So just one click, because if you click it off and on, it'll be low.
Okay.
It'll come on low. So just one click high. Go. You clicked off and on. Just fully click in. Oh yeah, nice. Again, 1,000 lumens. Hey, can you get the Malkoff back, please? Sorry. All right, hit me with the Malkoff, and then wait a couple of seconds, and hit me with the Surefire. Yep. Wow, they are like identical, man. That's really difficult to. Hey, how about this? Don't tell me which one you're gonna go with. I'm gonna look down. Don't tell me which one you're gonna go with, and just hit me with one of them. And now the other. Go again. They are like identical. I couldn't pick them apart.
Right. Was
Malkoff. Yeah. Okay. So the Malkoff and the Surefire are not very penetrating from a full car distance. Full car distance, car park. But half a car park, hit me with one or the other. I'm just gonna look at your feet. Oh God, which one was that?
The Malkoff.
Nice. Go the Surefire now. Go the Malkoff. Oh, Malkoff takes the cake actually. Yeah, man. Half the space, half the car park. Malkoff takes the cake absolutely. But how does the Surefire feel in your hands?
Not as good as the Malkoff.
Okay.
I don't know if I love this little
There.
barrier around the outside.
I
of the
struggle
tongue.
with that a bit
I don't
too.
like it.
Yeah,
It makes
because
me feel
because it's
stuck.
wavy and it like
I
if it
don't
was
like
one ring, would it feel better?
I don't think I would like it at all.
Okay, so you don't like shrouded tail caps?
No, because
Yeah.
it gets in the way and it makes me feel like I have to use my thumb. Sorry,
It's fine.
use my thumb.
Yeah, right. Cool. All right,
prefer the other one.
so out of all of them, definitely the Weltool T2 TAC and the Olight Warrior X3 were the most blinding for me at a full car distance, without a doubt. Next was the Weltool T8 Plus TAC, although the hotspot, because it was a lot smaller, it kind of hit me and then went away quickly because you probably just moved it a bit. But it was easier for you, I'm guessing, to keep something like this on my face because it's got a bigger hotspot. In terms of comfort and easy to use and confidence of hitting someone, everything, what would, if you were in a scary situation, you needed to use a light to defend yourself, what would it be? Grab it out, whichever one it would be.
To hit someone as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, just all around. Like if you had to pick one light to defend yourself with, what would it be?
That's hard.
It is hard. There's a lot of bloody amazing lights out there.
Only because I'm someone who likes a smaller torch.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't use that smaller torch to protect myself.
Like to hit someone.
To hit someone
Yeah.
with. So, out of my favourites, I would say one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
But in terms of self-defense, and if I wanted to hit someone with something, can I just shine them again?
Yep. What was that?
Weltool.
Yep. Oh my god, what was that?
That was
The
the
Olight?
Warrior
Yeah.
3. the
Warrior
Olight.
X3, yeah. It's strong, man.
Now we've got the next torch.
Yeah, let's go. Then I'm done. Oh yeah.
Oh, see, I think I like the next torch cookies.
Yeah, they're a brilliant design, the next torch cookies. Look at that.
Although,
Well tool.
I don't know. That's
Don't
really
pick a
hard.
well tool because I love them.
No, I'm not. Going again.
Go again.
I don't have to do it at you. I might have to go next torch.
Next torch. All right. So Sammy chooses the next torch TA30C Max as her self-defense light. The Warrior X3 and the Well Tool T2 TAC are the two brightest for me. And I will tell you guys what I like the best as a self-defense light.
That's
Same
purely
sec.
off clicky. Sorry.
Purely off. Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. It needs to be comfortable for you.
It's the ease of just pushing the button
Yeah.
and not having to worry about clicking it down to hold it on.
Love it. That's a very good point. So you're not worried about fully clicking it in to lock it in. So for that reason, the next torch is good because you only really have to tap it
Yeah.
and hold it there and then let go when you don't want it. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Thank you very much, Samwise. See you back at the lab.
All right, so as you saw there, some of them were pretty good, some of them weren't. I think Sammy's favourites were the next torches because of their just really nice tail clickies. I think they're really nice. She did prefer the TA30C for its size, but the TA30C Max or the Olight Warrior, she said she'd prefer to actually hit someone with. But in terms of which one she'd carry, I think it was the next torch TA30C. That would be the most comfortable. And I see why. It's very slimline. It's a beautiful, beautiful light. So in terms of my favorite self-defense light out of all of these, hands down, it is the Well Tool T2 TAC, without a doubt. As you saw in the night shots, guys, the hot spot just covered my face. It is a slimline 18650. You can momentary with it. You can constant on. You can, get through issues with this light. Hands down, it has a strike bezel. It's very, very pocketable. And it is basically my favorite go-to self-defense light, hands down. I do want to make a few special mentions though. The Malkoff Bodyguard is a brilliant light, particularly for momentary and for strobing because it has such a sensitive tail clicky that you don't even need to strobe. You can just strobe it with the tail clicky. It's beautiful. Another special mention will definitely be the High Candela of the Cloud Defensive. This thing is awesome, great tail clicky. Very, very effective, and if you've got it on just the single output, you can momentary very easily and strobe it as well if you want to. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that the T8 Plus TAC, it's blinding, utterly blinding, but the size of the hotspot, as you saw in the night shots, Sammy kind of got me and then missed, and I couldn't really tell how effective it was when she was shining it at me because it is such a small hotspot because it's got that epic candela. So I would definitely choose the T2 TAC over the T8 Plus TAC. Now the Olight Warrior Mini 3 didn't do much. I mean, in close quarters it would, yes, absolutely. But I wanted to really test out a distance to see what could really get you at a distance, and it didn't really do much. Same with the Phoenix, surprisingly. I don't know why, but it didn't really do much. Close up, it definitely would, and I think if I showed the close-up one of the Phoenix, it did. But yeah, close up it will, but at that distance, it just wasn't as effective as some of these other lights with more candela. Because again, candela is the intensity of the beam. So the higher the candela, the more intense. But you don't want it too high because you don't want that beam to be too thin, which is what we've experienced with the T8 Plus TAC. So just to cap off, in a self-defense situation, you need to have a plan, rule number 1. You need to look for help, rule number 2. And do not assume anything. Always operate under the one piece of factual evidence, which is that my survival instincts are firing. They're telling me something, so I need to act. Get your light out of your pocket. Do not leave it in your pocket until the last minute because you're going to be too late. That's for outside self-defense. For indoor self-defense, always have a light next to your bed. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's good even for a blackout, but always have a light next to your bed. I have 2 lights next to my bed, always. I have one that is just a very warm colored light, good for when I want to get up in the middle of the night and go to the toilet. And I have another one, which is my self-defense light, which is that if I hear a noise in the house, I'm grabbing it and I'm going into action. Get my family, get whatever I need, and quietly, slowly head to the exits with the light in my hand. In case I come up against someone, I can momentary them and then move. They will think I'm in one spot, I'm already gone. Now guys, I hope this video was helpful. I just wanted to it's taken me a long time to actually do this, believe it or not, because I've really wanted to think about things that I've been involved in and think about how I got out of it, think about some techniques, and I just didn't want to give any false information. So again, a light is not your foolproof scenario for getting out of a self-defense situation. You do need to think, you need to have a plan, and you need to be careful. All right, thanks very much for watching. I'm gonna link every single one of these lights in this video in the description below. So just to recap, we've got the Malkoff Bodyguard Volume 2 or Version 2. We've got the Fenix TK11 TAC. We've got the Surefire Defender Ultra. We've got the Cloud Defensive High Candela Head Mission Configurable Handheld. We've got the Olight Warrior Mini 3. We've got the Olight Warrior X3. We've got the Welltool T8 Plus TAC. We've got the Welltool T2 TAC. We've got the Nextorch TA30C. And then the Nextorch TA30C Max. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.